In this lesson, we're going to be talking about networking utilities. There are a handful of networking utilities that we'll be using through the course of these lessons, but also that you'll find very useful as you continue making use of TCP/IP networking. I'm going to be doing these under a Unix-based operating system, which is Mac OS, but you'll find that either these utilities themselves that I'm going to be demonstrating or slight variations on them will actually work under both Linux and Windows. There are typically Windows analogs for the various utilities that we'll be using, like ping and traceroute and netstat and those sorts of things. In order to get to the place where you can access those utilities, you would need to bring up a command prompt. And you would do that by going to your Start menu and then going to All Programs, going to Accessories, and you'll see a command prompt. If it's not somewhere in the menus ahead of that, it's typically under Accessories. So that's where you would find the command prompt. Once you bring up the command prompt, you've actually got a command line where you can run ping, traceroute, netstat, the various command line utilities that we'll be using here in this set of lessons. Now, the first one I want to show you is a utility called ipconfig. And that's going to show me the interface configuration for my network interfaces. Now, a variation on this particular utility also works under Windows. Instead of ifconfig, it's actually ipconfig. You'll see more or less the same information. It will be presented in slightly different ways, but basically the two utilities are just ways of looking at the configuration for network interfaces. You can see here the list of network interfaces that I've got on the system, and you can see cases where there is actually configuration for IP. Here's VNIC 0, and it's got an internet address or an IP address, and a net mask, and a broadcast address, and of course a MAC address as well. On top of that, we've also got EN1. In this case, it's the wireless interface on my Macintosh. That's got an IP address of 192.168.1.22. And of course, a net mask here. The net mask or the subnet mask, or just the network mask, needs to be translated, in this case, from hexadecimal to decimal. This is just a shorthanded way of using what we would typically see as, in this case, 255.255.255.0. So that's the interface configuration here. I'm going to take a look at another utility called Netstat. In this case, I'm actually going to run it from a Linux system, and I can show you information about all of the network activity that is going on my system. So you can see some connections that we've got going on, and here's actually where we're using domain sockets as opposed to internet connections. So these are basically files that reside on your system, and network-like communication goes on through these files. These are actually domain sockets, and you can see it says without servers. Let's take a look at all of the ports where I've got listening applications. If I do netstat -L, I can see all of the listeners. You can see that we are bound to everything. Asterisk means everything. So in this case, we're talking about all of the interfaces on the system. On the right-hand side of the colon is the port that we are listening on. What this has done is it's actually looked up the common name for the service that typically runs on that port. So I could actually do a -LN, which is going to give me the port number without doing the translation. So I'm actually just going to see the port number if I do netstat -LN. This is my SQL port. 139 has to do with Windows file sharing. 110 is the POP3 server port. Port 80 is HTTP, and so on. I can show you all of the listening ports on my system. I can also show the name of the program that's actually used for a particular connection. So I'm going to run Netstat, and we should be able to see the programs that are actually listening on these ports. Let's go back again. Here we've got MySQL. Not surprisingly, this is the MySQL server, and we've got the NetBIOS port. That would be 139, and you can see over here on the right, that's the Samba server. The POP3 port is POP-A3D. I can see the programs that are actually attached to the different communications that are going on my system. So I can see everything that's happening from a networking perspective. You can look on the right-hand side and you can see the program or the service that's actually making use of that networking communication. Something else that we are going to make use of is something called netcat. Netcat runs under Linux. It will run on Mac OS. It will also run on Windows. And netcat actually will open up connections to different systems. We'll make a fair amount of use of this in the coming lessons, but I want to show it to you quickly here. Netcat just opens up a connection and allows me to interface with a particular system on any given port. So what I'm doing here is I'm running netcat to www.google.com on port 80, which of course is the web port, and I'm just issuing an HTTP request here. And what I get, of course, is all of the HTML and JavaScript that web server is providing. So if I were a browser, I'd be able to render this and you'd be able to see the page for Google in front of you. But netcat I can use for network troubleshooting if I want to be able to do some manual interaction with systems. Similarly, I can use the telnet client in the same way. If I connect to port 80, I'm really doing a TCP connection to a particular port. As I said, netcat will do a very similar thing. The difference is netcat also supports listening and it also supports UDP mode. So here I can just issue an HTTP request and I'm going to get the same response. Those are some networking utilities that, again, we're going to make use of in subsequent lessons, but also that you'll find interesting or useful as you are doing networking. So we've got ifconfig or ipconfig on Windows, we've got Netstat, and we've got netcat and telnet. Those are all pretty useful networking utilities.